Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honourable Presiding Member, I thank the Honourable House for giving me the opportunity to debate on the third budget presented by His Excellency, the President, the Minister of Finance of this country. Honourable Speaker, the budget 2009 presented by His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa, sowing the seed of prosperity, economic growth, where there is no possibility of high yield in this country, which is in the midst of financial crisis. Today, history has been created in the world where Barack Hussein Obama was elected to the White House. He has shed the light to the American dream, where color, caste, creed, and religious beliefs deprived every citizen to be elected to the highest office as President of the United States. Abraham Lincoln proposed something, but the countrymen disposed of him. American independence and the conditions that prompted Martin Luther King, the civil rights activists, to advocate reforms, but the world brutally killed him. John F. Kennedy made moves for reforms in 1963, and an assassination of a visionary leader took place. America, now the new world, was a super role model of the world. It has blue states and red states. Very simple. They are United States. People, irrespective of color, creed, caste, religion, beliefs, have come together for change in the new world. This has shown every human being, millions of people all over the world, that white supremacy has been overcome by change. It is a lesson that we must all take serious note, a lesson that we must also take very seriously. Well done, Obama. You have changed. Your change will be a policy that will bring peace, understanding, fellowship, and amongst all people of the world. You shown equality reigns supreme in the new world. Whilst we look at America, the super world, let us look at our motherland. Just a teardrop in the government, in the ocean, this government and the policy of the people in our tiny land, torn apart with terrorism and the promise of peace in the near future, where thousands of soldiers have laid their lives down to give for better tomorrow. 30 years, war and terror, killed and displaced millions of people. Our country is hoodwinked, betrayed with the policies of Mahinda Chintane. The grand alliance of members in the government that come together from the Communist Party, the Hello Urumaya, the Mahajana Eksat Perumana, the CWC Workers' Congress, the National Unity Alliance, the dissident members of the UNP, and the dissident members of the SLMC. And the quest for peace and cohabitation is the major quest in today's world. Honourable Speaker, let me also thank you for the 4 months I have wished to debate on the budget of 2009. The biggest resources, revenue from this country is only through taxes, approximately 600 billion, and our largest expenditure head is the salary payments to the public servants of our country. Approximately 1.2 million government servants and 4.5 lakhs of pensioners and senior citizens who are drawing out or draining out the coffers of this great budget. Today, we know that our biggest expenditure since independence is the bill and repayment of loans obtained by consecutive governments as foreign loans. In 1960, it was recorded 6.2 billion. In 1970s, it was 8 billion. In 1980s, after the introduction of the open economy policy, it has increased to 310 billion. And in 1990s, it has come to a fold of 1,117 billion. And it has boomeranged and increased our day-to-day borrowings. Between 1980 and 1990, we have obtained foreign loans an increase of over 500%. Honourable Speaker, what I'm trying to say is that one cannot feed his family from the borrowings of banks and overdrafts. When there is, someday you're bound to crash as there is no cash flow. Some of the higher levels of income should be shown to contract the higher rate of interest. This country rate of interest is the highest in the region, and we see since the later part of the 2007, the world economy is heading towards recession. The gradual collapse of housing markets and financial system, and the losses by international banks and the deep credit squeeze are drastically reduced the investment growth and outlooks in many countries. Rising inflation in most countries has declined economic growth world over, creating lesser demand for commodities. Such and stiff competition globally has deprived as forefront of foreign exchange. Earners, something like tea, rubber, and industrial value-added products, such as the apparel industry, agricultural products, as affected due to the increase of cost of living and high oil prices with the increase of electricity and transport. Bringing our citizens in international standards, poverty-stricken people in the third world, inequality of the people of Africa today, we see bankruptcy. Bankrupt governments have prompted disaster to its people with no food, no clothing, shelter, and terror has taken shapes in those lands with ethnic cleansing and genocides in a large scale. We do not want that stage to come to Sri Lanka. That is why we all here unitedly fighting a war on terror, seeking the united Sri Lanka is an important aspect. As a member of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, representing over 8 to 10% of the population of being Muslims in this country, the only consolation we see no development in the tourist industry, building industry, the business world. Our share market is collapsing, very unrealistic in the few ones that are calling the shots in our reserve. The manpower of the skilled labor force is leaving the country. That is the only consolation that we have, Honourable Speaker. The educated looking for greener pastures and the unskilled women are exported as employing seekers to the Middle East as housemaids. Our country is left with narrow-minded citizens advocating themselves to petty politics, making lives miserable. With ethnic and racial problems, we foresee that any further unrest on the above will bring doom to our motherland. I would like to remind, like America has improved and changed its policies, where an African of 11% equal population has been the president of that country. And if India can have a prime minister who is from the minority Sikh and had a Muslim president and a chief minister from another community, why can't Sri